The fate of Rishi Sunak, the date of the general election, Labour's ability to win back its heartland. May's local elections really matter. Everyone's involved and gets a vote on May the 2nd if they're in England and Wales. There are more than 2,600 seats up for election in 107 different councils, plus the 25-strong London Assembly. And all of these places, these ones here, are electing new police and crime commissioners. And there is so much at stake for these men and their parties. Why? Well, let's look at what they're all defending. Here are the number of councillors up for election by party. And you can see both Labour and the Conservatives defending nearly 1,000 seats. Look at all of the different seats that the parties are defending. So how should we judge the various parties' performances? Well, we've got Sky analyst Michael Thrasher, and he says that the Conservatives stand to lose around 500 seats, half of their councillors facing election. Labour, well, they could be on course to make around 350 gains overall. And a good night for the Lib Dems, well, that's about 150 gains. Reform UK, well, they're only putting up candidates in about 1 in 8 possible seats, so it's quite hard to judge in the same way. But why do we think May the 2nd is going to be so bad for the Conservatives? Well, let's have a look. Here's the polling when the seats were last up for election in 2021. Now, that was the high watermark of Boris Johnson's political prowess. You can see the Tories back then were in the lead, 43, Labour on 33. And here is where it is now in 2024, much grimmer for Rishi Sunak. Now, Michael Thrasher says that all of that change in opinion means the Tories are vulnerable in around half of the 18 councils they currently control. Labour claim they aren't expecting any direct gains from the Tories. So who's right? At Sky News, here's some of the races that we're watching to work out the bigger picture for ourselves. There's Redditch in Worcestershire. Labour is concentrating firepower on this kind of area because there are so many parliamentary seats nearby, and they're the ones that matter at a general election. Then there's Walsall in the West Midlands. This place is where we're watching to see how Reform UK do. Then there's Gloucester in the west of England. Now, this is one of the few councils we consider likely to switch directly from the Conservatives to the Liberal Democrats. Now, when looking at the bigger picture, we also have the Metro mayors. You'll recognise lots of these faces. They're some of the biggest outside Westminster, 10 of them. You can see Sadiq Khan for Greater London there, Andy Burnham, he's the incumbent in Greater Manchester, all up for election. But the two most interesting, well, they're the ones in Labour areas held by Conservatives. Andy Street in the West Midlands, Ben Houchen down here for the Tees Valley. Let's look at those two in some more depth, shall we? In the West Midlands, Andy Street, well, you can see he won fairly close last time to Labour. That seat now is on a knife edge. Can he hang on despite the change in the national mood? Then there's this one. This is Ben Houchen's place, Tees Valley Mayor. He won almost 73% in 2021. If there's any sniff of Tory defeat here, then that will be taken by the Tories as an earthquake. Finally, here's a really important result for May the 2nd, and that is the by-election in Blackpool South. Now, this man, Boris Johnson, turned it blue in 2019, but a scandal-hit MP has now quit. So what does that look like? Here's what it looked like in 2019, and you can see why the Labour Party are hopeful. The Tories won last time with a majority of just under 4,000. Will it change control? If it does, it'll be a massive additional blow for Rishi Sunak. Labour want to use May the 2nd to explain why they will go on to win a general election. Tories want to use it to weigh up Rishi Sunak's future. Whatever happens, the political map will change. That's why this vote matters.